Hello crochet friends. Today we are going to be learning how to do a half double crochet. This is week 2 of 6 weeks of learning how to crochet. So if you're new, welcome. If you are not new, thank you for joining us again today. In today's video, we're going to be using the color Volcan by Malabrigo in the weight Rios and a 4.5mm hook. Yes, it does not look very pretty, but my dogs did eat the rubber part off of it, so electric tape it was. Alright, let's get started. So we're going to start off by crocheting a chain of 12 inches. So however many that takes for you, it's going to be different for me. Just due to tension and, crochet hook, crochet, your technique, and then yarn weight and size. So let's get that done and out of the way. Come on, ball. Unravel. Also, today's video is actually being filmed on my little neck thing instead of my tripod. So if it's moving around a lot, that's because my tripod is currently in the closet because we are running, we're running around and just doing a lot, so I figured let's just film from my neck today. Give you a view of what I look at when I'm doing this. So we're gonna keep crocheting until we have a 12-inch chain. At the end of the video, we will be having a little surprise project. And when I say we, my husband actually helps me run all the technical side of it because I am not tech savvy, not even close. I am very much so good at working with my hands. My husband is a mechanic who works on big rigs, so he's gotten really good at learning all the technical stuff, especially with today's modern age. So when I say we, I'm referring to him and I, and he does all the technical stuff for me. Thank the Lord I have him, because oh my goodness. So now that we've got our 12-inch chain, we're going to learn how to do the half double crochet. Okay, so starting out, you'll see that we have 2 chains, 1, 2. We're going to skip those first 2 closest to the hook and insert our hook into this 3rd chain here. But we're going to start by yarning over our hook, like so. And I like to hold it with my thumb just to keep it stable and insert our hook into that chain. Now that we're through, we're going to yarn over again, turn, and pull up a loop. Now when looking at it, you should have 3 loops on your hook. Pinch at the base of those 3 loops, yarn over, turn, and pull through all 3 loops. So let's do it again. We're going to yarn over, hold our yarn if we need to, identify the next chain that we'll be inserting our hook into. That's why I like to put my finger behind it. It helps me see it better. Insert our hook, yarn over, turn, and pull up a loop. Now we have 3 on our hook. I always like to pinch at the bottom of the 3, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, identify your chain that we're going to be inserting into, push through, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So let's do that all the way to the end of our chain. completed of half double crochets. We're going to chain 1, which I already have, and we're going to turn our work. So now we're going to learn a little extra something. So when you're looking at the top of your stitch, you'll see that you have 2 loops that come up. So you'll have your front loop and your back loop. We're going to yarn over our hook like we did last time for a half double crochet, and instead of going through the front of the stitch like this and pulling through both loops, we're actually going to go through the top of the stitch and just this back loop here. So we'll insert our hook into the top of the stitch like this and only go through that back loop. We'll yarn over and we'll turn and pull up a loop through just that back loop only. And you'll see this in a lot of patterns where it says back loop or front loop only. That's what they mean. So you'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So let's go through the back loop again. Yarn over, insert through the top of your stitch, not the front, and just go under that back part of the stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Let's do that a few more times together. Yarn over your hook. Looking at the top of your stitch, you're going to insert your hook into the top and under that back part of the stitch only. Yarn over your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, top of the stitch, back loop only, so you'll insert your hook just under that back part of the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now we're going to do that to the very end of our row. What's funny is I've been doing this so much this week that it's like second nature to me, and I have tried filming this several times and I kept doing back loop only, and I was like, okay, that's it, we're including it in the video because you know what, it'll be a little fun additive for everyone, and it will be fun for me to add in, and it will help complete the final project for everyone at the end of the video. Also, because of user error, this is why my husband is now helping me with the technical side, is I could not figure out how to upload a link to the PDF that I created for week 1 because I am not very tech savvy. So he helped me figure that out. So this week, week 1 and week 2 will be linked below in the description box because he showed me how to do that. So now I know. I couldn't even figure out how to put it in the comments. And he showed me how to do that too. So I should have done that, but I just decided, nope. I'll go over it in week 2. So, yay me. I am not the brightest, so that's okay. He also showed me that you can actually schedule your posts to upload at a certain time, which I thought was just balla. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Didn't even know that was an option. He goes, yeah, you can schedule them. So if you want to like make the videos on like a Wednesday and schedule them to upload on a Saturday, you can do that. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So I was amazed. But the flu has been running rampant through our house. So if I sound raggedy and like phlegmy, it's because my voice has been coming in and out of consciousness for the past week. And I have not been feeling well. And with me being 17 weeks pregnant, I am exhausted. Because not only am I taking care of a toddler who has molars coming in, yay me, I am also pregnant and, you know, still trying to keep my house running and functioning. And dinner this week has been peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or cold cut sandwiches. And that has not been yummy for all of us, but that's okay. So tonight I will surprise my husband with my homemade chicken soup and rolls, because that is one of our favorite meals in this house, and so I will be making that for dinner. Pretty excited. I love making my homemade chicken soup. It's my favorite thing to make. I always think it tastes so yummy. My husband loves it. The baby loves it. They both love my homemade rolls because they're delicioso. And yeah, I love cooking. Oh my gosh, it's like one of my favorite things to do outside of crochet. Cooking and crocheting are just like my comfort things. And I hate it when my husband tries to like come in the kitchen and like help me. I'm like, you're not helping. You're in fact making me frustrated. Get out of my face. Okay, so now that we've reached the end of our second row, we're going to chain one, turn our work, and we're going to continue down again. So this time, if you want, you could insert through your front loop, which instead of like the back loop where you go in through the top of your stitch, a front loop is you go in through the front of your stitch and up through the center. So you insert and instead of inserting through the top and through the back. So that's a front loop only. We are going to continue down, only working in the back loop only. So we'll go over that one more time. So through the top of your stitch, you will insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop through just that back part of your stitch. Yarn over, pull through all three. Yarn over your hook, identify the top of your stitch, insert your hook through and just behind that back part of the stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all three loops. Yarn over, insert your hook through the center of the stitch and through that back portion of the stitch only. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all three loops. So we're going to continue that all the way to the end of our row. And moving forward, you're going to do a back loop only half double crochet all the way across, chaining one and turning until the width, which is this right here, the width is this part that we've crocheted is 12 inches and the length is between 22 and 24 inches. So once we have done all of that, we will join back up together and we will go over the final piece of our project. So let's do that. finished, we are going to sew our two edges together. So our two 12-inch edges together, but let's first fasten off. So I like to cut my yarn so I have a tail of about 18 inches, so it makes sewing in easier at the end. Okay, so now that we have our tail, we are going to fasten off real quick. I like to just pull my tail end through the loop a couple of times just so I can make a quick little easy knot. And then we are going to learn how to crochet our ends together here in just a minute. So now we're going to fold our edges together so our two 12-inch edges line up with each other. And we are going to make sure that they're even in length. Obviously they will be because they should measure 12 inches unless you did skip a stitch or decrease somewhere along the way. So now we are going to learn how to crochet them together. This is me just making sure that my edges are completely lined up. One thing to note is that when you're crocheting these two edges together is that you're going through the base of your chain from when you had started and the row you had finished off with. So when you're looking at the chain, I like to look at it as you can see where the loop is and you can see where two pieces of yarn intersect. So first let's just make a quick little slip knot here into both ends. So here's that chain, and you'll be able to see, sorry, my washing machine started and scared me. Better, you can't really see it in this video, but you'll be able to see where they like overlap, where two pieces of yarn overlap, to say it the easiest way. But we're gonna do a little slip stitch. So I like to grab my yarn and pull it through. I've inserted my hook through the front loop of my finishing row and through the first chain from my starting row. And then I just wrap around the tail end and the body of the yarn to make almost kind of like a slip stitch or a single crochet. You can't see it very well because I'm out of frame with it, but I will get back in frame in just a minute. I just had to get it to where I could see it better. Okay, so I had worked a little ways before I realized that I forgot to video what I was doing. I'm so sorry. So you're going to be inserting your hook through the chain and through either the front or back loop of the row that you had finished off with. And so as you can see, that would be my front loop, but that could be your back loop. So what you do is you yarn over, insert through the chain and through the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Same idea. It's a half double crochet all the way to the top. But the way you do that is when you're looking at the chain, you'll see those 2 pieces that intersect together. You'll insert through the piece closest to the one you had just worked in. So as you can see, you can't see what I'm doing again. So I need to just get my tripod out. I need to not be lazy when I'm doing these things, because now you can't see what I'm doing. But that's all I'm doing here. I am yarning over and creating a half double crochet all the way to the top, which is sewing our 2 edges together. So yeah, we're gonna do that from one end all the way to the other end and then fasten off. do the border edge of it. And the way you do the border edge is by, you insert in between the stitches. So as you can tell, this is like the edge or the end of the rows where you had chained one and turned. So you'll kind of identify where there's spaces and gaps, and that's where you'll insert your hook. Sorry, I'm not feeling good. I've had a migraine all day. Got all of the flu. So, you're just half double crocheting all the way across, so yarn over all the same thing. But you're just identifying here where each one of the gaps is, and then you will insert your hook into that gap. This just kind of creates a cute little edge so it doesn't look unfinished and pulls the whole project together. So we're just gonna watch me do that a few more times and then I'll speed it up and we'll get to the end of the video. This video is unironically long because I've been filming it over the past several days in between being sick and, having the flu run through our house. So as you can see, I'm trying to force my hook through the top of that. But if you just go right there in between this stitch that you can see, there we go, then it's easier. So yeah, let's get to the end of this. We have finished working all the way around and kind of finishing up that edge so it doesn't look so raw. And we're going to fasten off. There is my boxer lab mix. Her name is Finley. She's the cutest thing ever. I'm not gonna lie, outside of my adorable child. So the way we fasten off is the same way as we did at the very top when we fastened off when we had finished all of our rows. So we'll just fasten off, shebang, and we'll sew in our ends later, but now we're going to learn how to make the beanie. If you haven't figured out that's what we're making yet, we're making a very simple beanie. So here's me rolling it and making sure that it's gonna look normal. Now let's get to doing the top. So as you can see here at the top, we have our 18-inch tail end from earlier, and then our yarn needle that we're going to use to sew in between the little stitches. So what I'm doing is I'm going to thread my yarn through, and then we are going to do I don't know what it's called, but it's where you sew around the entire thing, and when you get to the very end you pull the yarn and it just tightens up really nice. So I always like to just kind of mark where I started by doing a little stitch right here so I can remember. And now we are going to weave our needle in through our little stitches that we had done earlier. So we will insert our needle same way we did last time in between the gaps of the stitches. So see how I'm weaving it through. I push through one side, and then I go, instead of going over the top, I just push back through in a different spot. Sometimes I like to go through the top of the stitches if I can find them. Most of the time it's just easier to do it the way I had said earlier. So yep, you're just gonna keep doing that all the way around until you get to the very end, and then just tighten it down, and you'll see the top of your beanie come together. So I'll let the rest of the video finish up on its own, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little week 2 video. Pattern notes, obviously. This is a really simple basic hat. So anyone can do it. You know, I have to finish weaving in ends and whatnot, but I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to do this and you enjoy your first project you ever completed.